Welcome to the channel. You're watching Texas Silver. I have Jeremiah Babe with us and also Enrique. And we're here in Alabama now. I wanted to put out this video, but before we get into it, I want to extend my great gratitude to Patera for having us, and also James. I know a lot of new subs came over. I greatly appreciate y'all coming over and supporting the channel. It's greatly appreciated. So again, thank you for Patera for having us out there and showing us everything. Please check out those videos. Jeremiah has a three-part series that he has dropped. Check that out. And then I believe Patera also did some film work out there too, so check out her channel. That's Appalachia's Homestead. So the point of this video today, it was brought to my attention. I got sent a video of a pretty popular YouTube channel, and this YouTuber was giving a video about silver and gold, and he really had some stuff that was incorrect information. And so I just wanted to let y'all know that y'all need to be very careful who you watch, who you get advice from, because if you watch this particular channel, you would have gotten some bad information, in my opinion. So right now, silver is holding over $34 an ounce. Today is what, Monday the 21st in the evening, so who knows when you see this video where it will be. Silver jumped up last Friday. It was, I think, $2.10 it jumped up. And so we were kind of the opinion that silver might pull back. Gold just keeps climbing, and it did not. Silver held. I think it was up, what, 19 cents today? Something like that. Either way, it's in the green. I wasn't expecting that, but we're going to talk about that and the importance of stacking these metals. If you wait too long, you may have to pay more for these. All right. We think it might pull back. You know, in my opinion, it could, but you know, do you want to risk those metals pulling back and then you risk having to pay more? So if you have the dollars that you want to transfer into real money, I'd recommend to do that. What you got, JB?
Just starting out on what you said. When you do purchase this stuff, gold or silver, make sure it is from a reputable dealer. There's a lot of shady characters out there now. You have to be very, very careful with some of the people, some of the companies you deal with, where you're buying it from, what you're buying. Certainly, I would recommend never buy from a company that does not show prices on its website. And you may want to elaborate on that, because if out of anybody I know, the one person that probably knows more about silver, much more than I do, and I do stack, is Aaron.
Right. So generally, I've got bullion dealers that I've dealt with. I actually do at Cost Metals. That's who I've been dealing with. JB really likes SD Bullion. I've bought a lot from SD Bullion. Also, there's other bullion dealers, JM Bullion. Just make sure it's a reputable dealer. But yes, if you go to an online dealer, make sure that they have their prices up front posted on the site. And also they need to have the spot price somewhere on the site to where you can see that. So this company that was being pushed, I'm not gonna name who it was, we went to that site and none of that stuff was on there. So, and this YouTuber was pushing, saying that this was the best place that he knew to buy gold and silver. So I'm sure he's getting some sort of kickback. I just want y'all to find the best price to pay for these metals, and for it to be reputable and just a good experience.
And just to add to that, look, there's some incredible YouTubers out there that know metals and do an incredible job. And just like anything, there's bad ones. So you have to really pay attention and really vet where you're buying from, just like who you're listening to and who you're taking advice from, what's their background, how long they've been doing it, do they even really stack themselves? There's a lot of people out there that sell this stuff and tell you all this, and they don't even stack themselves. So, it's social media. You have to remember that. Again, there is incredible people, lots of knowledge out there, people who really walk the walk, people who stack and know more about gold and silver than I do. But there's a lot of people out there that pretend to, because they are just trying to make a quick buck. So be wary of those people.
So if you followed this channel since the beginning, maybe if you're new here, I like to do unboxings on this channel, and the reason being, it's not show off like, hey, look at me, this is what I've got. I do it for one, I know people enjoy seeing that, but also it shows y'all that I'm actually actively doing what I'm advising y'all would be good for y'all to do. Again, on this channel, it's not financial advice, it's just what I'm doing, what my buddies are doing, and it's just, I do that, and because it also gives myself, what's the word I'm looking for?
Some validation.
Yeah, validation. There you go. Yeah, that you know that I'm actually doing this. So just be wary of YouTubers out there that say that they have this stuff, and they don't do it on the channel for whatever reason.
I mean, we heard somebody today about something on eBay, and they got ripped off, and it wasn't a metal, it was something else. So if you're buying stuff on eBay like metals, you're taking a huge chance. So do your due diligence where you're buying it from.
Yeah. Enrique, you got anything?
Yeah, so one of the things, I think the metal space itself, I think it's a real large space. Just like anything, obviously you can go into gold, you can go into silver, and there's different ways of going about it. A lot of people just straight go into bullion. Yeah. Some people go into bullion. Some people also go into collectibles, coins. You got people that like to go into dimes, nickels, quarters. They want to go into whether it be Liberty pieces or older stuff, that's not really well known. And also, if you do that, make sure that you know exactly what you're getting into. Do your due diligence. There's actually a lot of information out there online. You can go online on your app store, whether it be your Android phone or your whether you go on your Android or you go on to your iPhone app store. You may find some good apps right there that'll be a good resource as well. And also, JB also has mentioned in the past with a good friend Ryan, he sells these silver balances. Highly recommend that to be able to have a gold balance or a silver balance. Also, the holidays are coming up, and if you know someone who loves gold and silver, you may want to be able to get them some tools to be able to test that stuff too. It's also very important for you to have that with you at all times to be able to test your gold and silver. I have friends that do stack as well, and many of them, they also want to carry, they got a little package where they're able to test their gold and silver. Sometimes you run into it, if you are someone who buys storage units or who runs into antique auctions, or you run into other places. You can't get it from a reputable dealer, but there's other places that you can also find gold and silver. Make sure you have your tools that are necessary to be able to validate that stuff to make sure you're not getting ripped off.
While he's talking about that, we've driven about 2,000 miles in the last.
I think we're near 2,500 now.
4 days, 5 days, whatever, 2,500 miles. So we've met friends, made some stops, and it's been quite an interesting trip. While you're on the road, Enrique's typically on the computer in the back, reading the comments, and somebody, I don't know if it was on your channel or my channel, made a comment that people complain that they don't have any money, and yet we're telling people to sell gold and silver. Yet Costco is selling out of gold bars, silver bars, and the football stadiums seem very, very packed, very full. Yet people don't have any money. It's interesting, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, and I guess there was a comment. One young lady stated that her dad had season tickets to the Browns, but he has no gold or silver, or
no assets.
No assets. Yeah. Period.
So, it's the same people that complain that they don't have anything, yet they pay $8 or $9 for a cup of coffee, they go to football games, they got season tickets, and they have absolutely no assets. So at some point, you have to take responsibility for your own actions. Either you make the sacrifices or you don't. Either you go out and you have a good time, go to the bars, go to the dinners, take the Vegas weekend trips, and have all the fun and have no assets. If you can afford to do both, wonderful. But if you can only afford to do one or the other, I hope you're making a wise choice.
Yeah. So again, when this video airs, it depends on when you've seen it, but tomorrow, and actually it may already be starting now because Russia is ahead of us, but the huge BRICS meeting is happening tomorrow. There's rumors that they're gonna, I don't think it's actually gonna get released, but there's gonna be definitely talk of the unit, is what it's called. It's supposed to be backed supposedly 40% by gold. The world is dumping dollars. Central banks are dumping dollars, and they're dumping treasuries and they're buying gold. This this monetary system, I believe, is going back to gold. And so gold, silver, when I say gold, I'm talking gold and silver. I believe it needs to be in your portfolio at least somewhat. So if this does get talked about, I have a feeling it's going to push these metals even higher. So if y'all want this stuff, please, what was that saying that Bill said? Don't get cute. Don't try and time the markets. Bill Holter said that. If you want the stuff, get the metals.
Yeah, don't be one of these people. Today on CNBC, 28% of people are still carrying Christmas debt from credit card debt, credit card debt from last year. So nearly 30% of cardholders, 3 out of 10, are carrying Christmas debt from last year. Enrique, you could probably elaborate a little bit more because we were talking yesterday that's people that are your clients, are people that actually owe you money and struggling right now to pay you for taxes. And then on top of that, we have nearly 30% of cardholders that still carry debt at 23+% on last year's Christmas shopping spree.
Yeah, and it is true. I can attest to that. I deal with a lot of clients, different clients throughout the years, and this past year, I have seen it very tough for people. I've seen many clients, they tell me that, hey, yes, I'm still paying debt that, 2-3 years old. They're still paying, 30% on it. They're carrying the cards up to their limit. And even if they do pay it off, and they got $100 left on their credit limit, they use it up. I don't know why, but people, they just have this tendency of running their credit cards up to the limit, paying it down just a tad bit, and then running it up again. And every single month it's just a vicious cycle, and somehow they're getting by like that month after month. And also these past 6 months, for the most part, I've seen more and more of my clients take longer to pay me. As of right now, I do have several clients that they haven't paid me yet for my services. Usually I always have, a certain amount of clientele that are a little bit behind. I know these clients for many years, they do pay. It's just that I feel like right now they're just taking a little longer to pay, which is fine. The fact that I have built up my savings pretty well, so I'm able to withstand this storm. But if I was the person that was living paycheck to paycheck running my business, I'd have a very hard time funding all my expenses. So it's very important, again, for you as a business owner, if you're out there, to be able to have a good amount of savings, because you never know when your clients might turn on you. Some of them, you may have to write them off at the end, or if you want to spend the attorney fees to go after them, you can. But in most cases, when you're a small business, it doesn't really make sense to do that for smaller amounts of money. So it's best for you to try to work something out with the client, even if it's in monthly payments, to get paid. And you'll be able to sleep better at night if you do that. So I think it's very, very important, especially for everybody out there, to be able to start saving a little bit of money here and there, whether it be in fiat or metals. If you want to do metals, great. But at the end of the day, make sure that you start saving, because that's going to help you sleep better at night.
Yeah. Last thing that I'm going to say is just, you have central banks and you have countries that are dumping U.S. treasuries. They don't want to hold U.S. debt. It's a dying asset, so they want to hold gold. There's no counterparty risk to it, and that's why these countries and central banks are moving to gold, because it is secured, it's no counterparty risk, and they know that the dollar is dying. And so what do you want to hold? Do you want to hold what the smart money is holding, or do you want to hold dollars? That's why I stack these metals, because I think eventually the dollar, I don't think it'll ever completely go away, but it's definitely on its last leg.
Agreed.
So.
Agreed.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. It's very important. I really do think that everybody should be stacking silver, and little by little, it might not seem like a lot at the beginning, but over time it just accumulates over and over again. And it doesn't matter what price silver is at. I always think it's a good time to stack. And like they said, the more you have to start measuring your wealth in ounces. I think that's super important. And you do have to have some cash, because you never know. But at the end of the day, there should be a very good portion of your money going into these assets. And over time, you're going to be guaranteeing that your money is not going to be lost due to inflation. Very, very important.
Yeah.
I would say, just to elaborate a little bit on that, we talked to Patera yesterday, about preparations.
Right.
You better start yesterday. Time is not your friend. you don't know how much more time you have to prep the food, the water, the metals. You have a week, you have a month, you have a year, you have 5 years, you don't know. But I think that trouble is around the corner and people don't have as much time as they hope or think. So, we can say, well, just start doing a little here and there. I don't know how much more time we have. And so if you have the means, if you have the ability, I would start accelerating all preparations across the board. It's better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're going to leave it there. Again, thank you for everyone that has come over from Jeremiah's channel and from Patera's channel to support my channel. I appreciate all the comments, liking the video, sharing it, all that stuff. And until the next one, y'all be safe. God bless.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Doodly-doo!